This episode of the Off-Road Podcast is sponsored by Warn, Power Tank, and Medical Gear Outfitters.
Off-Road Podcast, episode 333, Things I Wish I Never Bought. And there's a lot of them.
Tonight, Aaron fixes leaks, Jeremy talks some Jeep stuff, and Ben lives dangerously.
Welcome to the Off-Road Podcast about everything off-road. We cover the news, review products, and interview people in the off-road industry. I'm your host, Ben. I'm here with my co-hosts, Aaron and Jeremy, and welcome to the show.
The Weekend Review is brought to you by Medical Gear Outfitters. What are you waiting for? Are you waiting to have a casualty on the trail? Check out medicalgearoutfitters.com to get straightened out. Medical Gear Outfitters has everything you need, whether you're going out for the day or traveling on a year-long expedition. Head over there to get off-road specific kits that meet all of your needs. And while you're there, make sure you use Off-Road Podcast for 10% off.
Speaking of Medical Gear Outfitters, I got something back here.
Nice.
Uh-oh, what is it?
This is their Overlander Kit. I say their, we should say our Overlander Kit because we helped co-design this bad boy, and it is jammed packed. Hold on a second. I'm going to back up so you guys can see as I open this bad boy. So I know we've gone over this one before, but we've got a CPR shield here. And it's a quick tear away. So if this back part was attached to something, you could
like a roll
rip
bar
it off. Yep. Or a molly panel in the back of a 4Runner. So I'm going to open this bad boy up, and this is going to literally overflow with product here.
And there's no accessories like that for Nissans.
Boom.
Damn.
Look at that.
I was gonna say, why did you go with a 4Runner instead of a Nissan Frontier?
Because there's no accessories for them.
Or
Yeah. So
Nobody likes that.
lots of gauze up in here. Yeah, lots of gauze.
trauma shears from
Got trauma shears. Yep, like a Sam Splint deal. Cat tourniquet, Israeli bandage, pressure bandage. We got creams. You got tapes. I'm sure there's some bandages in here.
There's a
and
tick remover in there.
Yep, a tick remover, gloves,
Question: where's the tampon?
water purification. Boom. In case you're out there and you forgot to bring good drinking water, drop that in.
I want to know how many first aid kits are like ours where it's got a tick remover.
None.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen any.
Yeah,
I haven't either.
So I just recertified my CPR class, or my CPR card, and had a class on Saturday, and they kept mentioning Amazon, and she's like, "Oh, this is like $20 on Amazon." So I pulled up my phone, I pulled up MGO, I'm like, Medical Gear Outfitters, let's see, okay, and it was $10. I was like, hey,
Nice.
so we had like our little lunch break, and I was like, hey, so my podcast, we're sponsored by Medical Gear Outfitters, and that $20 I can't remember what it was. I was like, it's $10 on here, and if you use code Off-Road Podcast, you get 10% off. And she's like, oh, really?
Yep.
She's like, can you text that to me? So I texted it to her. So hopefully, and this is like a whole first aid company. Like they do lots of certification and a lot of industry people. So hopefully that helps a lot of people out.
Yeah, so we're going to give one of these away to somebody again. So don't know how, don't know when, don't know where. Although my wife saw it and she's like, I need that for my truck. So actually, you guys might just be out of luck. My wife, I think, already won it. So I don't know. We'll see.
So the real question is, what color bag do I go with? Because I'm online ordering it right now. So which one do I go with? Red?
What? So there's red, gray. Isn't there an orange?
So there's red, black, tan, OD green, multicam, vanquished red, vanquished black, vanquished tan. I think it's just the type
There's
of
lots
bag.
of colors.
I would go with red. And the reason I say red is it's a highly visible color. That way, if you've got a situation going on and you're performing CPR on someone, you need your bag. you can yell to whoever, go grab the red bag on my roll bar, and they'll know which
Oh,
one
really?
it is.
Can you say that, Ben?
Yes, the red bag on my roll bar.
And honestly, it's red's like the universal color of first aid. Whew. I was getting a big head there. I had to shrink us down a little.
Yeah, I mean, if not red, you could go with orange, but I don't think they have an orange, right?
They do not have an orange,
So
unfortunately.
I would go red.
Sorry, Rick.
I mean, if you were to go with a different color, I would get a patch on the front of it that, says first aid. I mean, that makes it a target for tweakers and stuff. But I mean, anything in the back of your vehicle is a target, right?
Yep. Honestly.
But plus, I'm pretty sure I only do shopping when we're on the podcast for off-road stuff.
There you go.
Well, wait till after the show to buy it because I have some exciting news for you.
Ooh, now I want to know.
You'll have to wait. Well, Aaron, what's new, man?
I haven't done much. I got to drive my tractor off road to move some firewood around the property. So, I mean, I had it in 4-wheel drive. It was muddy. So I did that. I also took the Nissan and dropped it off last Friday, and I picked it up the following Friday. And no, I dropped it off Tuesday and picked it up Friday. That's right. I guess it really doesn't matter how long I dropped it off for, but I got the exhaust leaks fixed, which was a big deal. So my tuner was the header. This guy said you don't have any exhaust leaks at the header. I had a couple leaks at a couple of joints farther down the stream. He took care of those. He added a couple hangers in for me, and he put a tip on it to finish it off. So exhaust is now up and running. I'm super excited. I am a little sad though because the tip kind of turns it down and away from the truck rather than just blasting it underneath the truck, and the sound reduction is probably like 90% of what it was. So it was
90%.
Well, it's 90% of what it was. I lost 10%.
Oh,
I lost 10%.
I heard that the other way around.
Yeah,
Like,
I did
you
too.
only got 10%.
I was like, damn, did he throw a muffler tip on?
Yeah, so it still sounds good. It just isn't as loud. It didn't change any of the noise. It just got quieter in the cab, which I guess is probably a good thing. But
Especially for your wife.
I don't know. I don't know what it is, but like maybe because I don't drive it often enough, but I have not gotten tired of that sound, and that sound makes my right foot do bad things. That's all I'm saying.
So that's a good thing that it quieted it down just a little bit. Or you're going to be romping on it more because you're like, I need to hear it now.
I'm addicted. Yeah. How about you, Ben? What are you living dangerously with?
Oh, well, let me go through a few other things first. So I had a CPR class this weekend.
I heard
As I just mentioned, for my scouts. After that, I was in a parade, which was pretty fun. And there was a bunch of Jeeps there, and then but it was with my scouts. But there was a bunch of side by sides in front of me. I noticed that the side by side that was in front of us, he had almost a street tire, but it was a 32-inch tire. I was amazed. I didn't realize that they made the side by side tires that big now. And
as big as a tire as you.
Yep. And then and then
you need a medical gear outfitter kit because you need some burn cream.
I need some burn. Yep, there we go. Oh, that's good. That's good. And then Sunday I had a Christmas party, and I ran across our buddy Rick. It was our search and rescue Christmas party. So I went and I saw Rick. Aaron wasn't there or anyone else, that we know. But Rick was there, and that's the important part. I gotta see my buddy Rick.
Good.
Then today I decided, screw it, F it. I'm driving the 4Runner, and I drove the 4Runner to work today. It barely started up. The battery was a little low because it's been sitting. But I think I've come to the decision I have not discussed this with my wife yet, so it may change again. That I'm just gonna run it till it dies, and then just replace the engine because it'll be quicker than doing the head gasket at this point in time.
No, it won't.
Probably throw
No,
some
it
Blue
won't.
Devil in there. No,
It really won't be quicker, but I
No.
support the V8 swap.
well,
No,
and so
he can't V8 swap.
I can't. It's too much work for the V8 swap. But if I do the if I just run it till it dies, I can get a
You'll
new
never fix
engine.
it. You'll
Yep.
never, Ben. You will never fix it if you run it till it dies. It'll be broken. You'll drag it to the side of your house. It'll sit there for 3 years. You'll never fix it.
Well,
Just
I
fix the
drove it to
head
work.
gasket. What the heck?
I haven't had time. That's the problem.
You'll
edit-
got-
find time. Make time.
yeah,
I've
but
got
my
an
problem
idea
is
for your
time
head
isn't going to
gasket.
be
Let's
till
talk after the show.
spring at this rate.
You just
I've
wanna
got an
suck
idea for your head
everything up.
gasket.
After the show?
Yeah.
All right.
After the show, let's talk about your head gasket after the show.
All
Got an
right.
idea.
Jeremy, what's new, man?
Not a whole lot. So my brother-in-law was just over, and basically we just talked Jeeps for about an hour and a half while my wife and sister-in-law were bathing the kids and stuff. So I'm a little bit excited about him moving back. So he's getting out of the Navy soon, and then he'll be moving back from South Carolina. So
Is he the one that
He
has
has-
the XJ?
no, he has a JL.
Okay. Well, did
Same
he have an
difference.
XJ a couple years ago though?
No,
Or is this a different brother-in-law?
I don't have any brother-in-laws that have ever owned an XJ. So
There was someone you went wheeling with. I think.
Jeremy's family is pretty high class.
Oh,
They wouldn't own it.
shit. Yeah, you're right. One of my brother-in-laws has his own XJ.
Whoops.
Yeah. Whoops.
Yep, there you go. See, I
Sorry,
remember
Chad.
something.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
No, so he's coming back. He's got an off-road teardrop and a JL. So I'm excited to get him into rock crawling when he gets back.
Yeah, so has he taken it off road ever before?
Wow, way to call him out. No, he has not.
Well, you
bring in
mentioned
the
rock crawling.
conversation
I'm
on
like,
each show.
well, I mean,
So-
you mentioned rock
So-
crawling, and it's like, has he gone on a Forest Service road at least with it? I mean,
No, not yet. So we're gonna work him into it. You know, we'll start out at Tahuya and start doing a little bit of the rock obstacles once he gets familiar with the Jeep, and then
I thought
We'll
you
go
might
from
start at the. I thought you might start at the Silverdale Mall.
I don't know. Are there obstacles there?
Curbs, parking bumpers.
I would just make sure you're there teaching him because
Yeah. No.
I've got a customer with a bent rear the rear axle for their 2018 or 19 Toyota 4Runner, and they bent their rear axle back a little bit. So one side of it's bent back like 3 degrees. So the rear wheel's pointing out like that. Oh, wrong way.
Whoa!
Like that. So
What do you hit?
he bumped into it like he was bumping rocks to get over stuff. And
A curb at the mall.
no, he was at Tahuya, but he showed me video, and the dude was not driving slow. He was going, he was just going like full speed. It's like, dude, you need to go like 4 low and just crawl through it, not freaking rip through it. And that's how you bend stuff. So
Wow.
I've
I
never
mean-
I've never heard of anyone bending an axle back like that. You'd think that suspension components would give.
yeah, we
before the axle
were
bent.
we were amazed. Like we were expecting, maybe it's a trailing arm that's bent. No, this is the axle housing is
Wow.
bent.
Well, I
So-
mean, you guys know me. I'm kind of the put it in 4 low and let it crawl up
Yeah.
obstacles. So
Well,
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. It's
it'll
like
be fine.
some of the guys when they go out and they're new, they expect to hit at full speed, like they see these really $100,000 buggies go through full speed with their LS engines.
Now, when I was talking to him, he was scared about scratching his rig, so he's going to be going slow. So we'll ease him into it, but we're going to get him, get him bit with the bug pretty quick, I think.
Well, that's what I started with was the Tahuya, nice and easy. Learn it and go a little crazy afterwards.
Well, and
As
I mean
big-
with the JLs, they can a lot of people are pushing 37s on the stock axle. So
Yeah.
he's got a Rubicon, so he'll be fine. He'll be well set up.
Yep.
Well,
AJ says best stories always start with hold my beer and watch this.
Yes, they do.
yes, they do. The weekend review is brought.
Hey guys, we're looking to reach more listeners. We're going to start reading Apple iTunes reviews on air. If you hear yours, send us a message with your address, and we'll send you an Off-Road Podcast sticker. You can find all of our social media by just searching our name. Now, go hit that subscribe button.
All right, we got some listener feedback from Charles. He says, I just finished episode 331 with Tim and the Jimny. I wish I could have caught it live. I have a Samurai, and I'd love to own one of the new Jimneys. So would Andy. In the States, don't know why Suzuki pulled their automotive side out of the States. Anyway, here's my toy. He shared a picture of it, and love your show. Let's see if I can. It's not letting me share.
I'm trying to share the picture.
Trying to share the picture, and I can't. I'll share it in a little bit. I'm gonna. Did that come through email, Aaron?
I mean, I can see it in the show notes. So, but
Yeah,
I find a way to save it in the show notes. That's weird.
Yeah. Damn it. Save to keep. Nope.
Nope, that's not it. I tried that too.
All right. Well, how did we get this email? Or was it Facebook message or email? I can't remember.
I think it was our Facebook Messenger.
All right. I'm going to pull it. Do you want to go ahead and start off with the next one here, Patriot Patch?
We'll push the button. We also want to thank our sponsor, Patriot Patch. Head over to patriotpatch.co and check out their selection of great patches, shirts, cleaning mats, signs, and stickers. You can also join the Patch of the Month Club for $15 and receive a patch, matching sticker, and artist proof each month. All right, so we've got 3 more podcasts until Christmas, and I've got some Christmas patches I was going to show off. So this one is from a couple years back. Silent Night, Santa Claus with his suppressed pistol, keeping it quiet. We've got the Winter Warfare. Stop it. Trying to show off the patches, Ben.
Sorry.
There we go. I got the Winter Warfare, which is like a M1 Abrams with an igloo on top. We've got Santa's Little Helper. Say hello to my little helper. Santa's got his M16 with the M203 grenade launcher on the bottom of it. And the last one is He Knows When You're Awake. Santa's doing a roof insert into a house down the side. He's got his saw with him as well. So it's going to be not a quiet night as soon as that thing gets lit up.
You know, I still have this huge bag of patches that they sent us that I haven't opened up yet.
Well, I'm going through them every week. So if you tune in live, Jeremy, and watch the show, you'll see which ones you have in that bag.
Yeah, show up for the show. You might see what they are.
Well, you know, I just pulled out 3 Christmas patches that I haven't seen yet. So, you know, I feel like I'm getting a sneak preview.
Speaking of which, didn't there was an announcement for Christmas patch or the patch a month for December, which I don't think
there was. I forgot to upload it, so we'll get it in the next episode.
And then they have this series for the next 4 weeks, which is all themed
Die Hard.
Die Hard. The best Christmas
I watched
movie
that movie. I watched that movie the other night.
I got in an argument with my mother-in-law that Die Hard is a Christmas movie. And she's like, no, it's not. I'm like, takes place on Christmas. It's a Christmas movie.
Yeah, exactly.
It takes place at a Christmas party.
Yep. So there you go. And then here's Charles Suzuki right there. It's a nice little guy.
Gunmetal Guy USA says, I use chat as background sound to get through the third shift job. Great info and entertaining. Thanks, guys. We love that you tune in every week. I know you don't always comment, but we know you're there listening. So awesome to hear from you.
Yep, we definitely appreciate our listeners.
The news is brought to you by PowerTank, the ultimate mobile onboard air system for performance, versatility, and reliability. They are your source for all air-related accessories. Check them out at powertank.com.
Sorry, Jeremy, I cut you out.
Yeah, I was just going to say that, from the time that I was working back shift last year, it definitely makes great listening while you're trying to get some work done.
Yeah,
Definitely.
I listen to podcasts while I work if I can get away with it too.
I don't have no time.
For some reason, Aaron, you're very quiet.
Yeah. Facebook user says even the director of Die Hard says it's a Christmas movie.
See?
Well, there you go.
Yeah, it is. It's done. I don't know who Facebook user is, but thank you for your comments. So our news here this week, the three of us have got some amazing news. This first story pertains to all of us very closely. So the Overland Expo is coming to the Pacific Northwest.
Woohoo! Maybe.
I'm pretty excited because I've wanted to go to Overland Expo for a long time.
I have
I know it's gotten very commercialized and stuff. I need to just go one time. Craig says 1941 is his favorite Christmas movie. I'm not sure what 1941 is as far as Christmas movies go.
Yeah, I've always wanted to go to the Overland Rally, and it just seems like it's such a cluster that I'm like, do I want to go because of how big it's gotten? But I mean, then again, I want to go to SEMA, which is absolutely crazy. You'll never see it all, but you still want to go type stuff. So
yeah.
And also, yes, AJ, I did just pour the whole bag of patches in front of me.
So the rally is it's coming to the Pacific Northwest. It's coming to Redmond, Oregon, which is just outside of Bend. Tickets go on sale December 15th, so a little over a week from now, and the event is July 8th through the 9th. Sorry, 8th through the 10th. It's like a Friday, Saturday, Sunday, so it's not very long. I expected it to be longer for how large of an event it is, but it is what it is. So in the past, Overland Expo, it started out in Flagstaff, Arizona. I don't know how long it's been there for. I didn't do enough research to find that out, but started in Flagstaff a long time ago. And then they wanted to put one on the East Coast, so they added Virginia. It's in Arlington, Virginia. And then they added one called, I think, Mountains West, which is in Loveland, Colorado. Yeah. And now they've just added their fourth one here in the state of Oregon. So Redmond is basically 3 hours from me. It's probably going to be 4.5 hours, maybe 5 hours for you guys.
So I just checked my calendar, and my wife is off that weekend, so I'll probably be there.
Nice. AJ wants to know if there's ever going to be an Overland show in Texas.
That would be a good location to do. Do a winter one.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Shouldn't you do a winter one where it gets snow though?
No. I'm just thinking for like a show like that where they're not super crazy.
Yeah. Well, the next article that we have here is Matt's off-road recovery is kind of in a little bit of hot water. So back before, I think this was kind of before they were monetized from some of the other articles that I had seen, but they're being charged with almost $15,000 and fraudulent activity through AAA. So the main ones in the claims are a side-by-side that was towed, that it was somebody else's pickup truck, claim that was filed several days after the owner had the vehicle towed by the same day, which was also the the same day that he signed up for service, and then another one that had apparently or allegedly was a vehicle that was towed that was actually a construction material delivery. So, he's got a really good YouTube channel. We're hoping that he comes through any of this stuff and continues to produce content, but kind of looks like he might be in a little bit of trouble here.
Yeah, I'm curious, like the side by side that was claimed as someone's pickup truck. I wonder if that's like someone using someone else's AAA, like, and they couldn't find the make and model on the computer, so they just said it's a pickup truck. Like it makes me wonder if it was just AAA being difficult for it.
It sounds like side by sides aren't something that can be towed under AAA's policy, though.
Yeah. So, yeah. This one sucks for him. He's got an awesome YouTube channel. It's one of the ones I actually watch fairly regularly because it's entertaining and useful.
Go prepared with Warren Industries. They produced the first recreational winch in 1959 and lead the industry with their dedication to quality and reliability. When you dig yourself in deep, make sure you have the right tools to get yourself out. Get Warren equipped and go where others can't. Now, let's get ready for adventure and head into our main topic.
And this is going to be a fun one. So tonight we're talking about all the things we wish we never bought. And I think I've got the biggest list so far. Aaron's following me. Jeremy does not have much for regrets, but they're there. So do we want to go trade off each of us?
Yeah. Go ahead, Ben. Since you've got the most, why don't you start?
Oh, where should I start? Should I start at the top here?
I think so.
All right. So used tires. I've bought a lot of them.
You
I'm shocked.
regret that?
You're shocked.
I'm shocked.
You're shocked at me being upset about that happening, and then being
but
with
those tires were only driven on Sundays in a little old lady's Ford Tempo.
Yeah. So I won't say all of the used tires I've gotten have been horrible. The last set of that, because my alignment went off and ruined them, the cheap Jeep ones, they weren't terrible, but I have learned not happening again. Especially now that I'm industry, I can just buy them a lot cheaper, and I have no excuse to buy new. Right?
Yeah.
So.
Industry. Oh.
Well, it's a fact though. It's like I don't have to pay
really
retail. When you don't have to pay retail, it's hard to pay retail again on something.
Yeah.
I mean, construction supplies, Aaron. Would you pay for electrical panels at retail now?
I don't have an option. I can only take retail. I don't work in an electrical supply house that sells them.
Well, I mean, but don't you get the industry price? No? Okay. No. Never mind then.
When a price game, Aaron.
Yeah.
Price shaming. It's okay.
Yeah.
Well,
my first one is a Harbor Freight air compressor. So I didn't know any better. I will say I bought the most expensive portable air compressor they had, and it practically left me stranded after I had aired down to get through some snow, and I couldn't air back up because it kept popping fuses. I had to shove a couple metal picks, pry tools, into the fuse slot and cross them to make the electrical connection so that I could keep airing up my tires. So,
oh my goodness. Yeah.
So,
I've had a couple of those cheap air compressors. That's on my list, and I agree wholeheartedly. Getting cheap air compressors for off-roading is just garbage.
Yep.
So I just want to hit on a point that a lot of people talk about when they talk about especially Harbor Freight. So, Aaron, how was that warranty for you then?
Oh, I gave it to a friend. I don't even bother.
No. I mean, how was that warranty when you couldn't make it back to town?
That's true. Yeah. So, it's got a lifetime warranty if I buy this item. Yeah, but I'm still stuck in the boonies. The warranty doesn't do me any good.
Yep.
I hear the point you're making. Absolutely.
Yeah. So
Lifetime warranty on cheap garbage. I had a friend one time where he bought the cheaper heater core for his car. His heater cores were like $20, and he bought the cheaper one, but it came with a lifetime warranty. And I'm like, bro, do you not realize that you just spent 8 hours taking the dash out of your car so you could replace this $10 to $20 part? But he's like, it's got a lifetime warranty. Yeah, but you still have to take the 8 hours worth of labor. Yeah. Anyways, Jerry, what do you got?
I think the biggest one on my list has got to be a long box Tacoma.
Yeah.
So
it's not the fact that it was a
specifically.
Tacoma.
Oh no! Specifically because it was a Tacoma.
No, specifically because it was a long box.
Oh,
I mean,
okay. All right.
I think I would have ended up progressing to where I am now anyway with the Jeep for rock crawling, but especially because I had the long box Toyota, it was just couldn't do anything in the rocks that I wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
just because it's a terrible breakover angle essentially. It was just bottoming me out on everything.
Yeah, I can get that. I mean, had it had the shorter box, it probably would have been a whole lot easy, lasted a little bit longer, right?
Well, I mean, probably what would have happened is I would have just built it a little bit more.
Yeah.
Wasted more money on it.
Well,
yeah, exactly.
So for my next one,
speaking of vehicles you wish you never bought.
bum bum bum. So I could go two. There could be two. I could have my Wagoneer on here because I spent more time fixing it than using it. But when I got to use it, it was great and it worked. It just there was more things that needed to be fixed. It was a project car.
Well,
I
feel
leaf
like-
springs rubbing on gas tanks.
I didn't have leaf springs rubbing on gas tanks.
I thought you had some weird gas issue and it was a suspension something.
Nope.
Okay.
But
although I feel like one of the Wagoneer stuff, like with the Wagoneer, like because it's so old and so unique, you should have just stuck it out.
Yeah.
That's why this is my biggest regret was the XJ. I put a lot of time and money and effort, and it never fixed the problem of the amazing transmission that just did not want to work for me. It screwed me over so many times, and I don't know. It disposable hero, and I had it passed when it should have been disposed of. So.
Honestly, if I was in your shoes and I knew that 12% of the undercarriage was rusted out and you could put your floor through the foot of the floorboards at any moment, I would have never bought it to begin with.
The floor through the footboards?
No, it was
the floorboards. There was holes like this big
on the passenger side.
Lengthwise on the passenger side.
Yeah, yes. There's on the passenger side.
You could lift up the carpet and see all the way to the pavement.
And you know what? And I did not do a good enough job at looking at it, and I missed that until afterwards. And it was like, I've already committed. I'll just weld it up, and I never got around to doing any of that. So yeah. So yep, the XJ was probably one of my biggest vehicle regrets.
I didn't know you during this time, so that's brand new information to me.
Yep. But you listened to me then, so
yeah.
Yeah, but apparently I missed that part.
I didn't talk about it that much.
No.
I'll talk about it for him.
Yep. Aaron, you're up, man.
So something that I've never, ever, ever once used while off-roading is an exhaust air jack. Boom, there it is. Big old orange pillow. So I bought one of those on Amazon because I didn't want to spend the money on the ARB version. So it was like half the cost of the ARB version. And trying it in my driveway, it didn't get my truck high enough to get the tires off the ground, number one. Like it shows in that picture, it's getting them off the ground. But yeah, mine was like that size. And then the other part of the problem was that the hose that inflates it, you can actually even see it in this picture. See how it's not round, it's like flat. When you connect it to your tailpipe, like I had to go around and massage the hose to get the air from the exhaust to push into the bag. It was like stuck to itself on the inside. It was so flat that it was so stiff and rigid it wouldn't self-inflate. So
I wonder if it was because it was a knockoff and not the ARB one. Because didn't you also say that it didn't inflate all the way?
Oh, it would inflate all the way.
But you had to keep your foot on the gas to keep it enough exhaust in there, or something like that.
No, because it's got a one-way valve. So once it's in, it's in. Okay. Yeah, once it's in, it's in. I did use it on a buddy's car one time, and it like started to break the lower trim that goes around the rocker panel. So
it's when you need a solid frame there.
Yep. So stay tuned for a giveaway coming up for a Amazon knockoff air jack, exhaust jack. If you're interested, write us. Let us know. You pay shipping.
All right, Jeremy. Let's hear your next regret.
My next one is has to be Max Tracks. I know this is going to be very controversial.
Controversial? Yeah.
I don't know. I've just never. There's been one time that I've used them successfully, and it was on a Toyota Corolla in the sand.
You know, I've thought long and hard about recovery boards, and it seems like for the type of off-roading you like to do, they're absolutely pointless. Rock crawling and stuff.
Well, I mean,
unless you want to bridge with them to help get over an obstacle, and Max Tracks would be the only brand I would use to bridge. I couldn't imagine trying to use some Amazon ones and bridging. They'd break in half.
I mean, I've also tried to use them when I've been snow wheeling, which is probably the time that I'm going to use them the most.
Yep.
And they just never seem to work well for me.
So
like literally the only reason I've kept them around is because oftentimes I'll go out by myself, like with my wife, to go snow wheeling, and the only thing that's really going to work is going to be a winch and Max Tracks, because there's nobody to just use like above a rope and just yank it backwards or whatever. So I've kept them for a long time. I mean, well, they used to be sitting behind me, but I think they're now on the other side of the garage. But I don't think I've really gotten my use out of them.
Yeah. Well, and it's snow runs and sand are probably the best places to use them. And how often are we doing those? I mean, snow runs, 3 months out of the year?
I think sand is probably the best place to use them because you can move sand very easily, and almost all sand is the same. Where snow, you can get super light, fluffy snow, you can get super wet, dense snow, you can get icy snow. Snow's just a tough material to deal with. Period. Once you get stuck,
it is. But I mean, if you're seriously with the Max Tracks, if you're going with buddies, it is almost never worth using the Max Tracks.
You're almost always better using your winch or getting Bubba tugged backwards or whatever. I agree. It's a hard purchase to good giggle there. Or Bubba roped into a ditch or through a ditch into a sapling.
Well, that's by far the best. The best one.
Yeah.
Especially when your friend named Aaron starts giggling and says, "Tree."
Yeah. And if you guys want to watch that video, it's on our YouTube. I've used MaxTrack successfully once, and it was during our snow training for search and rescue, because they told me I couldn't use my winch, and so that's what I used, was someone else's MaxTracks, and they worked. It's just like,
Yeah.
it's
I mean,
like,
don't get me
do I
wrong,
need
they
them?
do work, but they take a lot of effort to make work.
Yeah.
Like
So,
more effort than just using another vehicle as a winch point or getting
Yeah.
a bumper roped. Or
I
snap
want to
track.
mention one thing right here, is that this list is our list of things that we wish we never bought. Plenty of people are doing awesome stuff with their XJs. Plenty of people use MaxTracks successfully a lot.
Yep.
I'm sure there's people who've used Harbor Freight air compressors and had great luck with them. But
Yeah. And I have
things that aren't working for us. Yeah.
I've got
yeah.
fair traction boards. They're useful.
Yep.
All right.
Well, Aaron, what's the next thing on your list?
You thought yours was controversial. Wait till I get mine out. And I'm going to preface this by saying you guys know how much I love BF
BFGs.
Goodrich tires. I love BFG tires. Love them. I've had 3 pairs on my Nissan Frontier alone. I've also had them on track cars and stuff too. So
And
love
you were
BFGs.
talking about your minivan.
Yeah, that's right. I was. KO2s, worst purchase ever. Worst purchase ever. Those
Well-
are not my tires. I don't have GMC, GMC
It's
wheels.
stock photo.
Yeah,
I mean, I remember how quickly you wore through those things.
I did.
So
Maybe it's my driving style, because I do drive it like I stole it. You just heard about how awesome my exhaust is and how it gets my heart beating and my adrenaline going. I think they're great tires. I really do. They just didn't work for me. And when I initially was making the purchase, they didn't have the size I wanted. So I had to go from 33s down to 32s, which made me sad. I could feel how much shorter my truck got in that half inch. Like I was that much closer to the ground. So yeah, and I did chew through them quickly. They were better in the snow than my KM2s that were siped, but not as good as I thought they were going to be. I never had a problem with them. I never had punctures or sidewall slices or anything like other people have had. And I definitely aired them down way low, but they just weren't the tire for me. That's all. KO2s, one of the worst purchases I've done. How about you, Ben? What's next?
Oh, where should I start? I'm cheap LED headlights. So, and this is gonna go just beyond these ones. So I had these on the XJ, and I absolutely hated them. I know guys that run them and they love them, but they throw light everywhere, and so I know oncoming traffic is hating me.
Oh man, they blind. You were following me off the mountain one day, and you had those on, and
With no
I think I
second
radioed
gear.
you. Yeah, and I radioed you, and I'm like, can you just like drive with no headlights? And then when it gets dark enough, turn them on.
Drive with your light bar on instead, because it'll probably be less.
Yeah, I think they are probably great for wheelers. They were too big for the road.
And I'm gonna add more to this with this. So even cheap Amazon headlight bulbs,
Yeah,
I've had them in the 4Runner. I've currently got a set in the Camry that I absolutely hate.
we just got unsubscribed by Kevin Moore. He says he's unsubscribing because I don't like KO2s.
That's fine.
That's fair.
So I
See you next week, Kevin.
they're now that I've had quality headlight bulbs, I've got some arc LED headlight bulbs. It's like night and day difference between those cheap garbage ones. They're actually designed for projector housing, and they have ones that are designed for reflector housings, and they actually aim the light right. So I know I'm not blinding people. I've got more light going in the right spots that's usable. Usable light is key there. Like throwing it everywhere is great for seeing everything 10 feet in front of you, but I need to see at least 30 feet down the road, right? So
Yeah.
So yeah, cheap headlights.
All right, Jeremy.
I,
I'm super curious
I'm
about
just-
your next one.
I'm just still stuck on the fact that he said he only needed to see 30 feet down the road.
I mean, at least 30 feet, right?
He doesn't plan ahead very much. You know that. It's
Nope.
okay.
I'm just gonna slam into the back whoever stopped in front of me 50 feet away.
Yeah, I've seen the way he builds 4x4s, so that's fair. So the next thing I got on my list is Olympus auction items, and I'm not trying to knock Olympus here. I'm just
Olympus
I don't
off road.
know. Yeah,
I think it's Olympic off road.
is it
No,
Olympic?
Oh
It's
no, it is
Olympus.
Olympus. It's Olympus because here's a
Invoice.
seat I just got because I bought some stuff from them.
I don't know. I've just had some bad luck with Olympus on the auction items, so got bid up more than I probably should have been. I bought so once I got my red winches winch, I guess you'll call it a donut. So it's like the aluminum
Uh-huh.
aluminum smash block for synthetic winch lines. I went and bought like they called it like an oversized soft shackle, which I probably should have been aware at that point, but it was like probably something that you'd try to use on Aaron's LMTV. It was just
Like
ginormous.
soft,
Like, it was
soft
like
shackle like this big.
this big around, and it was
Yeah.
probably like probably that thick.
Oh
Like,
my
it
goodness.
wouldn't even fit through my donut there. So there was that, and then they didn't quite get my order right for a set of LEDs, LED pods that I was hoping to put in my bumper, and they sent me not the flush mounts. But I don't know. I think it might just be me, but I've had terrible luck with the Olympus stuff.
I haven't seen them do any auctions for a while, so I'm not sure if they're even doing those still.
They still do them. I see them,
they?
but not as often. And it might just be how the Facebook feed is working out too.
I just picked up some winch line from those guys on a Black Friday crazy Christmas sale. I paid $30 for this 120 or however long length of it. So it's going to be my winch line extension rope.
I think Rick thought I was trying to take him out on a date, but yeah. He says donuts and mood lighting.
Yeah. Ben, lay it on us.
So, you guys have probably heard about those like nets to keep crap from falling out of the back of your truck when you open up your trunk when you open it up. So I had one of like the cheap Amazon ones for the back of the 4Runner, so it stops stuff from falling out when I open it because I don't have any organization.
How much stuff do you have in your 4Runner that is falling out like an avalanche?
Not a lot, but like if I go to the grocery store, like those do not stop things from falling out. It was too stretchy, and so I would have like, I lost like 3 gallons of milk. My boss, same problem. She had the same problem. You're losing stuff out of the back, and it's super embarrassing when you go and like, okay, I need to recover myself here, and you pop open your trunk, and like half your crap comes falling out because you're not organized. So I mean, I would say that the net was a bad idea and a terrible purchase. And now that I have a higher quality one, it's a lot nicer because nothing falls out because I'm still not organized.
I've never had this problem before.
Part of that might be you just hit, the whoops too hard and you throw everything around.
Too much send.
Too much send. Not enough drive. Yeah, that could be it. But still, it was terrible regrets.
Well, when I was first lifting my Nissan Frontier, I bought a 2-inch puck spacer up front and 2-inch lift shackles for the rear. My options for the rear were lift shackles or spacer blocks, and I knew I didn't want to do spacer blocks, so lift shackles must be the way to go. I put them on, and I gained 0 lift out of the rear. Instead of lifting my truck, it like flattened my leaf spring instead by whatever torque it was applying at whatever angle. So I got literally 0 lift out of 2-inch lift shackles. So that's shortly after I took it and had them taken off and put the regular ones back on the added leaves and things like that to fix my suspension at an actual leaf spring shop. So yeah, lift shackles didn't work for me. They must work for somebody because they make them. Somehow they must work, but for Nissan Frontiers, second gen Frontiers, they don't work.
Should I go next?
Ben,
Again?
yeah, Ben, throw us another one.
My Wish diesel heater. The Wish shopping. Just no.
You mean the one that was like
An
1/3 the
electric-
size of a normal one?
Yeah, well, it wasn't even a diesel heater. It was a 12-volt heater.
Oh yeah.
A 12-volt window defroster.
Yeah. So yeah. No, let's just go to reputable sellers to buy stuff. I mean, I really learned the hard way with that one, and it took
Story
like
of Ben's life.
yeah,
Dealers.
yep. Go to reputable dealers. Cheap is not always a great idea. So yeah,
So you go to like Alibaba instead, or
no, I went with Amazon, so it was a whole lot easier to go through that whole process to get my diesel heater. Or no, actually I used eBay, but still better than Wish.
yeah. I'm gonna throw another one up. I'm gonna throw another one up here because Jeremy's so good at buying stuff that his list is so small. So when I bought my ARB bull bar bumper, had the option of buying the ARB fog light kit for it. And I'm like, yeah, of course I want the fog lights for it because they go in it, they fit in it. They're ARB, they're going to be good. Well, they are trash, pretty much 100% trash.
I remember watching those go down the road.
They've got glass housings, and apparently as soon as you dunk them in water, it like burns out your bulbs or even cracks the glass lens. I've never had the lens crack, but I've burned through so many fog light bulbs in that thing. It's ridiculous. I've stopped turning the fog lights on my truck. In fact, I just bought some pod lights to replace it with. Yeah, they are apparently the cheapest Chinese source thing that ARB could find. They're just absolute garbage. So
I'm sure the fog lights were an afterthought.
Yeah, I think so too. And their newer bull bars have newer, nicer ones, but not these.
They probably don't CrossFit. Well, I should probably go again because Jeremy's got so few things there, right?
Can I talk about this one?
Yes.
Yes, go ahead. Since you've got the good story on this one.
So the first time I met Ben was when we did Wobder. And I remember on the first night, Ben talking about how much he loved his tent because it was just a pop-up. This was the first time I had seen a pop-up tent in person. And it looked like it went up so easily. And he just popped
it. Probably did. It probably just popped right up.
And even with, me with a rooftop tent, like, he probably spent as much time unloading the thing and getting it set up as.
Oh, no, I've set up way before you.
Maybe. I don't know. But anyway, I remember him having this pop-up tent. And then that was great the first night. And then the second night, I remember just sleeping through the night like a baby. No problems. And then we woke up in the morning and we're making breakfast. And then Ben was just complaining about his tent. Because in the wind, it kept collapsing on him.
Oh, it collapsed probably 3 or 4 times. And I want to say the last one was like 6 o'clock, probably like 6 o'clock in the morning. And so it's the type where it like goes like this to lock into place. There's like a little spot where it stops it. And I was sleeping like dead center in the tent. And so when it came down, it hit me in the face. So yeah, absolute worst. And the funny thing is technically my Gazelle's a pop-up tent, much better quality. Don't have to worry about getting hit in the face. But yeah, the cheap Amazon pop-up tent, yeah, no.
I also remember another story, or I have another story about that, but I think I'll probably tell that offline.
All right.
Tell the next one here, Ben, just to catch up.
All right. Well, so I bought a Mr. Buddy heater, but my first terrible Mr. Buddy heater experience, which has been talked about on this show, on a snow camping trip, I used Jeremy's, and the guys would hear me click, damn it,
Damn
click,
it.
damn it, click, click, damn it. Yeah. So I froze that night, and then I ended up buying one. Jeremy believes the reason his is because he took it
Yeah.
duck hunting, living by the sea, and all that.
So it's probably not a problem for Mr. Buddy. It's more a problem that I was taking this thing duck hunting in Puget Sound.
Well, so I got a Mr. Buddy heater, and then I had problems with mine. It worked great the first couple of times, but the problem is when you use one of the big propane heaters and those hoses, you need to use a filter. And mine got clogged, and I never could get it fixed. I tried disassembling it, and stuff started breaking, and the plastic broke when it fell off the desk or the table I was working on. And so never, I'm just done with Mr. Buddy heater. I love my diesel heater and the quality sleeping bags that I own now.
Now.
Oh, now. Yeah.
All right, Jeremy, what's your next one here?
Oh man. I think the next one that I have is probably skid plates and bumpers.
What?
I know.
What?
Is it
So
back-
you'd rather go? You'd rather drive around with no skid plates and no bumpers?
like me?
No. It's the fact that I bought steel. Should have
Okay.
gone aluminum.
Really?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, part of the reason I bought a steel rear bumper is I couldn't find an aluminum bumper with a swing out that mounted to the bumper that was rated for a 40-inch tire. So that one I don't have so many regrets about. But the skid plates, I definitely wish I had spent the extra money and bought aluminum.
You're right, Kevin.
Apparently, we didn't lose Kevin as a listener. He's still listening, just to make fun of Ben.
An easy target.
Well, I mean, that's a really good reason to subscribe. Just so you can make-
Absolutely. Tell your
Yeah.
friends you can come listen and make fun of Ben. Chad says he loves his Mr. Buddy heater, and I'm in the same camp. I've never had the issues that Jeremy and Ben have. I've got two different Mr. Buddy heaters, and I love them. I run them in my rooftop tent. I sleep with them next to me. I'm not dying. I'm not catching on
Spoons with
fire.
them.
I spoon them. Yep.
Yep.
Somebody's got to keep me warm at night.
Yep.
Because I don't have these 0-degree bags that Ben and Jeremy have.
I love my new bag.
I like sleeping in a 60-degree rooftop tent in the middle of winter.
All right. So I should probably do another one, right?
I think you have the most. So
Yeah, I have the most. So this will be, I don't know. This one's a popular thing. But a hood mounted high lift mount. So I had it on my JK. And
Listening again.
She's listening again. Aaron, be quiet. So my hood mounted high lift mount. With the high lift on the hood, your windshield washer sprayers. I'm OCD about spraying my windshield and keeping it clean for visibility because my stigmatism, when there's stuff on the windshield, it bothers it more, and I get headaches when I'm driving. Just clean windshield. So it would like half the spray would get washed away or hit the high lift jack, and it was just like, this is a terrible design. I know it's a stupid reason to complain about it, but like it's a convenient spot, but also that could go through your windshield. There could be lots more problems there with it. So yeah, I'm not my cup of tea.
Hold on. I just want to go back to it can come through your windshield. How often are you hit hard enough from behind that your high lift jack is going to break away and come through your windshield?
All it takes is one time, though, right?
Right, but generally speaking, you're going to get hit. You're going to hit something hard enough to make that thing fly away, and it's going to go.
Yeah.
Go through rear window of whoever's in front of you.
Yeah, so I would not want something like that flying off. Well, here I am with a high lift on the roof of my Forerunner half the time. So yeah, I don't know. It's a give or take thing.
You know, and I just want to say something about that. It's in a much more convenient orientation to go through somebody's rear window.
Yeah.
You have it pointed, point forward
Yeah.
instead of,
I don't know.
perpendicular.
Blocking me having a clean windshield was enough to annoy me and make me regret it. I would have rather had it on the back on the spare tire carrier, or or just inside the vehicle on the floor, duct taped.
No, back of the spare tire carrier is probably the best.
That's the best spot in my opinion too. Aaron, go for it.
All right. Well, well, this one might irritate some people too, but CB radio. I don't know if I've ever used my CB radio as a trail communication.
We did when we went to. How long ago was that listener's ride where we went up to what's that lake?
Surprise Lake. Did we use it then?
Yep, we used it then. That was the only the last probably the last and only time we've used it.
Yeah, probably.
I think the only time I've used mine, so I had one of the handheld ones, and the only time I tried to use mine was when I went
with Ben.
With Ben, and I couldn't hear him.
You know, I think in small groups like that, an FRS radio is cheaper, easier, and or just jump up to a ham radio. You're not spread out as much. Like when CBs were super popular, people would be spread out a little more, so it wasn't as bad. So either go with an FRS radio or have a ham and call it good.
I've won Kevin back to the podcast. He says ham for the win all day long. I hate having to use CB too.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm so in favor of just everybody getting their ham license and jumping to ham. It's so much better.
Yep.
All right, Ben.
All right. So cheap windshield wiper blades. Your store-bought windshield wiper blades. I mentioned my OCD about changing my windshield wiper blades all the time. Or washing my windshield. I've had the scrub blades. What's it been? 3 years now, Jeremy? I think.
Sure.
How long? I don't know. I've had them for a while.
2019.
And it was when Jeremy and I went to the Northwest Overland Rally, and there was a booth there, and I bought some. And I spent $50 on them, and they're still in my Forerunner. And one of the wipes just broke, so they're dead. And I'll either buy another set of scrub blades, or I'll get some of the Hella windshield wiper blades. They're a silicone blade, and they last a lot longer. So having a quality windshield wiper blade, especially mud and crap on your windshield, it's nice to be able to get it off quickly.
What I do is I just buy the ones at Costco that are on sale for $6.99 and replace them every year. The end.
Also, I will say it really makes your wiper blades last longer when you don't drive your rig for a year.
Ooh, 6 burn.
Oh. But
break out that burn cream again.
No, well, it has not been a year since I've driven my rig, and it broke.
You just drove it today.
Yeah, I drove it today. No, but I mean, I was driving it for 2 years easily with those windshield wiper blades, and I just clean them once a month, and they lasted. So, and I would clean my old windshield wiper blades, and they start streaking again in a week. So, I mean, no, I don't know, just cheap windshield wiper blades, no more.
All right. My next one is my drawer system. So I didn't buy the drawer system. I got it for free, and it had been used in 3 or 4 other Nissan trucks before it made it to mine.
It was the Brotherhood of the Traveling Drawers, right?
It was the Brotherhood of the Traveling Drawers. So, I don't want to knock anybody's craftsmanship skills, but they used some subpar components, some subpar fasteners. And for my truck, so I had a canopy on my truck, and it was too tall for. It had a fridge mount on it on a slide with a tilt, all made out of wood. But with my canopy, I couldn't even put my fridge on top of the fridge slide to slide it in or out because the drawers were so tall in the back of my truck. So, and I wouldn't imagine that you would have used this drawer system in a truck that didn't have a canopy because of the construction of it. So yeah, and it slowly rattled itself apart and was falling apart on me. So kind of a bummer. I had to retire the box. I kept the drawers in case down the road I'm able to cut them down and rebuild something. But yeah, I was sad about that one too because drawer systems cost so much money.
Well, yeah, like a nice deck
awesome.
system cost $1,400.
Yes.
And I've sold a lot of deck systems at work. I love them, but man, that's a good chunk of change to put down on one.
Yeah. All right, Jeremy, what's next for you?
Oh man, this I'm just going controversial all over the place. So the next controversial one is a Rubicon.
Your wife's not listening, is she?
No, she's not. Not that I know of. Comment if you are, so I'm in trouble. Okay, I didn't see anything, so we're good. No, Rubicon. So I mean, I'm not saying that the Rubicons are a bad option. I think the Rubicons are a very good option, especially in the JLs where they're a little bit stronger. But the fact that I ended up on 60s, ended up on 1 tons with 40-inch tires, like within a year and a half of getting the Jeep, I shouldn't have gone Rubicon. I should have gone with something more of a base model because I just ended up there anyway.
Yeah. I mean, for what you've done to it, it would have just have been as easy to go with the only thing that you really got out of yours is the Hemi.
Yeah, but obviously that's not a Rubicon thing.
No. So
yeah, but no, I still love my Jeep, and I would, if I was going to buy a brand new Jeep, I'd still buy the Rubicon. And if you're going to do light off-roading, like I still recommend just going with the Rubicon, but
even mild off-roading.
Yeah, even mild off-roading. But I mean, if you're gonna end up, I was thinking easy rock crawling. But if you think if you're pretty sure you're gonna end up on, 40-inch tires in the next, year or so, you might just want to save up a little extra money and just, buy a base model Wrangler and throw some 60s at it.
Yeah, that'd be a good way to go.
Ben, what's your last one here?
So cheap recovery equipment. I've bought some stupid cheap things. Fortunately enough, none that put me in danger because I chose not to use them. When I first got into off-roading, I bought one of the hooks that you can get at like Harbor Freight, though I think I got it at like the hitch hooks. I still got it in my garage somewhere. I don't know where. And then after that, I bought the Harbor Freight D-ring shackle for the Harbor Freight, the receiver mount one that goes in your hitch, with like the 2 pieces of metal instead of a solid piece. I don't know, just cheap equipment like that really puts people's lives at risk on the trail in a recovery situation. Not always, but I'd rather have quality gear that I know is not going to break and potentially hurt someone. Because who wants that on their chest, right? Not I.
That's true. That's true.
Well, Aaron, I think you should cap off the show with yours.
All right. Well, hopefully my wife has stopped listening at this point.
Nope, she's still there. Comment if you're still listening.
So my biggest regret on this list is that Titan parts truck. So not because I bought a Titan parts truck, but because I bought one that had a blown engine in it and had to end up spending. I can't remember how much I spent on another engine. I think I spent like $1,300 or $1,400 more dollars to get a new engine. So,
But you did get some useful parts from the parts truck at least. But the fact
correct,
that
yeah,
the engine blown was a big downer.
it was a big downer. So, I and the way that I was forced to buy that truck from the auction house. I can't remember if we've ever talked about that on the show, but I got burned on that deal really hard, and I'd be happy to let anybody know if you ever want to buy from Copart auctions. I'll give you some insider information of what to be aware of. So they're not quite crooks, but they can write the rules to benefit themselves. So yeah, I got burned hard on my parts truck. So just be careful out there when you're buying vehicles from auctions, sight unseen.
It's a lot of regret this episode. You know that?
Yeah, lots of it. I wonder if we total up all this money, how much money between the three of us we spent on all these items.
Let's not.
I don't know. I didn't spend that much money.
Yeah, I've wasted a lot of money.
I mean, it really does show, do your research before you go ahead and buy.
Yeah. And do your research. Reach out to people that have similar items. Like, hey, what's the benefit of this? Or if it's something like a Mr. Buddy heater, borrow it. If you've got a buddy that has one, borrow it so you can see if it works for you and what you intend to use it for. Because being able to borrow something and return it is a whole lot better than buying it and totally regretting it and then having to throw it in the garbage can.
Well, I don't know, Ben. You borrowed mine and then you bought your own. So,
Oh yeah, I didn't learn very well. I didn't. So
well,
yeah.
and what you didn't know is that I had taken that thing into salt water and I think dunked it maybe once or twice. So
Yeah, that'll do it.
Yep. Well,
Well-
the thing I want to leave here is the buy once, cry once rule. So,
oh, absolutely.
Oh, look at my list. Cheap, wish, cheap. It's
used, cheap, wish.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
Sometimes people are selling stuff for the obvious reason, and it's not just because they're freeing up space. So
That is true, especially when it comes to tires.
yeah, just pay the $20 and recycle.
Well, we just wanted to thank everybody who listens to us weekly and also to those who watch us live on YouTube and Facebook and Twitch. And I think that's about it. Oh, Twitter. Yeah, we're also on there live.
We're on the Twitter.
We really do appreciate you guys joining us live. Please share us with your friends and help us grow. That's one of the biggest ways that podcast grows is through word of mouth and people talking to us about or talking to their friends about what we do here on the show. So we just wanted to say thank you and God bless America.
Don't forget to visit Patriot Patch and join the Patch of the Month Club. Check out our Gaia affiliate link for up to 40% off. Also, don't forget to head over to Warren and Power Tank to see all of their great gear. We are a proud part of the Firearms Radio Network. Got a question or comment? Send it to us through our webpage at firearmsradio.tv or through our social media channels by searching for Off-Road Podcast. Also, you can listen to us live at overlandradio.com, Mondays at 7 p.m. Pacific. When off-road, please remember to have fun, tread lightly, be safe and courteous, and thanks for listening.
You know,
We could almost follow this episode up with a 20 time.